The story of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar begins in the final chapter of America's last large-sized circulating dollar coin and marks the end of a short but historically rich series that spanned the early to late 70s. This coin represents the last year the United States Mint issued the Eisenhower dollar before transitioning to the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar. And because of that, the 1978 issue stands as a closing moment in United States numismatic history and a reflection of the changing economic and cultural landscape of the nation during the period. To understand the place of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar in American coinage, we must revisit the early 70s when the Mint sought to honor President Dwight D Eisenhower and commemorate the achievements of the Apollo 11 mission. Congress authorized the coin in 1970, marking the first time a circulating dollar coin had been produced since the peace dollar era ended in 1935, and by 1971, the Eisenhower dollar entered circulation with a large copper nickel-clad format that resembled older silver dollars in size, but not in metallic content. This decision had both practical and cultural implications, since the coin's size made it appealing for casinos, vending machines, and collectors, but less convenient for everyday transactions. By the time the 1978 Eisenhower dollar was minted, the series had already become a familiar presence in American commerce. But its usage among the general public remained limited. The coin was heavy, large, and difficult to carry, and most people preferred paper currency, which circulated more easily as inflation rose during the decade. The cost-effectiveness of producing such a large coin came under increased scrutiny, and this growing concern played a central role in the decision to end the Eisenhower dollar series after 1978. Production of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar took place at two facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia issues carried no mint mark, and the Denver coins were marked with a D. Both were made of the regular copper nickel-clad composition used for circulating coins. And unlike some earlier years in the series, no 40% silver collectible versions were struck in 1978 because the United States Mint had discontinued those in 1976. The focus in 1978 was strictly on producing coins for everyday use and preparing for the upcoming introduction of the smaller dollar coin. The design of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar continued the familiar portrait created by chief engraver Frank Gasparo on the obverse. President Dwight D Eisenhower is depicted in a realistic right-facing profile that conveys strength, experience, and leadership. This design had become iconic and was appreciated by many collectors for its clean, sculpted appearance on the reverse. The coin features the powerful image of an American eagle landing on the lunar surface, a design based on the Apollo 11 mission insignia, symbolizing the unity of the nation's technological achievements and its commitment to exploration, innovation, and progress by 1978. This design had acquired symbolic weight because it represented not only the space mission, but also the hopes and ambitions of the 70s, a transitional decade marked by both challenge and discovery. The mintage numbers for the 1978 Eisenhower dollar show that it was produced in significant quantities. Philadelphia struck tens of millions of pieces, and Denver minted an even larger number, making the 1978 dollar one of the more common issues in the series. However, because it represents the final year of production, collectors place special interest on high-grade examples. Coins with exceptional luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks are noticeably harder to find, especially those graded in the highest mint state ranges, since large-clad coins often picked up bag marks during handling and transport in mint facilities. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar also reflects important economic and political pressures of the time. The 70s were marked by rising production costs, fuel crises, new monetary policies, and attempts to improve the efficiency of American commerce. The federal government realized that the public had not widely adopted the large Eisenhower dollar, and that a smaller coin might perform better in circulation. Early discussions about replacing the Eisenhower dollar had already begun by 1976, and by 1978, these plans were nearly complete. preparing the way for the Susan B. Anthony dollar that would debut in 1979. This transition represented a major shift in U.S. coinage philosophy, moving away from traditional large dollars and toward modern compact designs meant to be more practical and cost-effective. In the world of numismatics, the 1978 issue carries particular importance because it is accessible for collectors, but historically significant as an end of an era. It offers one of the last opportunities to acquire a fresh, well-struck large dollar coin from circulation before the series was retired. Collectors also value the year for its place in the evolution of American currency, as it stands between the classic silver era of earlier decades and the modern clad era that continues today. The coin serves as a final example of the large format dollar that had defined U.S. coinage for generations. Another notable aspect of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar is the subtle design details that specialists study for variety identification. While the 1978 issue is not as famous for major varieties as some earlier years, minor differences in strike quality die wear and surface texture still provide points of interest for advanced collectors and researchers. The study of Ike dollars, as they are affectionately known, has grown significantly in the past 2 decades as numismatists have come to appreciate the series' historical importance and the technical challenges of minting such large clad coins consistently across different years and mints. The cultural presence of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar should also be noted. Even though the coin saw limited use in daily transactions, it was widely used in casinos, particularly in Nevada, where slot machines and gambling halls relied heavily on dollar coins. Well into the late 70s and early 80s, these coins became part of the atmosphere of entertainment travel and leisure in America. During the era, many people who never handled the coin in everyday purchases still encountered it in casinos, airports, and tourist destinations, creating a unique connection between the Eisenhower dollar and American pop culture. As the final year of the series, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar also represents a symbolic farewell to a certain aesthetic of American coinage, the large, bold design, the space-age symbolism, and the tribute to a World War II general turned president combine to form a uniquely American narrative. The coin captures a moment when the nation honored its past achievements while preparing for a new direction in economy, technology, and daily life. This coin carries the weight of remembrance and the momentum of transition, and that dual character is what makes the 1978 issue so compelling for long-form historical storytelling. In the broader context of United States coinage, the end of the Eisenhower dollar series marked a turning point that would influence minting decisions for decades, with the smaller dollar coins that followed. The mint pursued new goals, including improving circulation efficiency, saving production costs, and adapting to a modern economic environment where paper currency and credit systems dominated. The legacy of the 1978 coin therefore extends beyond its surface. It stands as a marker of change in U.S. monetary philosophy and a reminder of the complex balance between tradition, innovation, and public acceptance. By the end of the 70s, the Eisenhower dollar had already earned a permanent place in American history, both as a commemorative coin and as a circulating piece that reflected national pride in the Apollo program and respect for President Eisenhower's contributions.